Hi, I'm Rob, and today we're at the Coach and Horses in Sutton Scotney. Now on the wall there's a plaque and it commemorates the men of the locality, not only Sutton Scotney but Wonston and Barton Stacey, that demonstrated during the swing riots. And they're called the swing riots because there's a chap that signed letters Captain Swing, obviously anonymously, but that it was all about cuts in the tithe and wage rises for agricultural workers. Anyway, you can read more on the plaque. Well, the pub was built in 1762 as a coaching inn because it stands at the junction of this road, which is the London to the South Coast road, and this road, which leads down to the West Country. Now this thatch building was the old fire station, and it was at one time the only thatched fire station in the whole of England, but as you can see now it's ensuite accommodation for the pub. And just for balance there's the new fire station next door. Anyway, the walk starts. We're walking in a southerly direction, this way past the pub. And we're going to turn left at Victoria Hall. And we have a very unusual sort of lantern style war memorial. So the Victoria Hall, it plays a pivotal role in village society here in Sutton Scotney. There's a society for everything goes on in there. You can do whatever you like, and it's all well funded because it's funded by the Grattan Trust. Now who are the Grattan Trust? They're a trust that was formed by a chap called J. Arthur Rank. You got it, the chap with the gong bomb. So J. Arthur Rank was a committed Methodist, and he lived at Sutton Manor, just over the road. He was a preacher at the Methodist Sunday School here, but then he got into flour milling, he got into film making as a way of preaching the gospel, which is a little bit odd because one of the J. Arthur Rank films that we remember, the Carry On films and the Hammer Horrors, which is a strange way to preach the gospel, but hats off to the chap, brilliant bloke, put a lot of money into the village, still does through the Grattan Trust, which he was behind, and so that's why this could be called Hampshire's Hollywood. So just as an aside, J. Arthur had lots of guests at Sutton Manor, and they included Marilyn Monroe and Ava Gardner, along with many stars of the time. Anyway, just up and opposite from the hall is a footpath to your right, and we're going to take it. So nice to get in the fields amongst the crops. At this point, don't carry on down the well-defined track, we're going left down the footpath. So we come out of the field there, very short walk up the road, to turn left along this track here, and we're walking up this lane. At this point, road carries on to the right, private driveway then, path straight on, or there's a path to the left of this barn, and that is the path we're taking, to the left of the barn. So we've got some friendly visitors coming over. Ah, putting on a show just for us. A couple of young bulls. And we come off of the path there and we turn left to follow the road towards the village of Wonston. After a short distance you'll see a sign to Holy Trinity Church. Very special church this. And we're going to take the footpath up to it and hopefully have a look. And we'll enter through the Lich Gate of Holy Trinity. No seats for the pallbearers in this one. And here it is. It's one of the oldest churches in Hampshire, nay the country. And the earliest part of the church, which I guess is probably this bit at the back maybe, is from 901 AD. Well, the church is locked, so unfortunately we can't go in, but fortunately there's been a cloudburst, not forecast at all, but we're sat nicely in the church porch, staying lovely and dry. So rain stopped, we're out of the porch, and I believe we take this path through the graveyard to carry on the footpath. Graveyard full of yew trees. And as you know from previous videos, yew trees are revered by Christians as a sign of death and resurrection, because of their tendency to dip down to the ground, touch the ground and new trees sprout out. Only seen that once, but that's what they say. And we exit the graveyard through the kissing gate. So this is our first sight of the River Deva. The River Deva is another jewel in Hampshire's crown. It's a small chalk stream. It rises in West Stratton and it runs for about 11 miles until it joins the Test at Wewell. As we come into Hunton, there's a church on the right and some very nice houses to the left and ahead of us. So quite obviously the village is Hunton and the church is Hunton Church. It's a bit like a little chapel, don't know much about it to be honest. We've got some ground touching action going on here with this yew tree, give it a few years. And there we go, lovely little chapel, stroke church. Probably I'd say about 12th century, I don't know. And we're in luck, this little church is open. Very quaint bijou church. And the organ stand at the back, nice wooden pews. I had a little Google and it seems like it's a Norman church and it's added on to an original part of a Saxon church. So I can't exactly date it, but the chancel arch was 12th century in design. Back out the gate and onto the main route again. And back on the road we're turning right. So we cross over this footbridge over the weir we've just seen. And we're following this rather lovely waterside footpath all the way to StokeCharity. So a little bit of boardwalk here and it's a little bit springy and a little bit rotten, so just be careful. There's some cows in the field with us, or bulls, one of the two, don't know. Heading across the StokeCharity there. So from the little grass triangle, we're not taking the first on the right, we're taking the second on the right, which is this lane. Follow this for a short distance. Beautiful roses, it's that time of year. pretty soon on your left you climb the bank to take a footpath out across the fields to the church, and that's the old rectory opposite. Lots of freshly shorn sheep. Not shorn the sheep, freshly shorn sheep. And this is StokeCharity Church. Again, I don't know a lot about it. Just that it's got a pretty shingle bell tower and lovely flint knap walls. Let's have a look and see if it's open. This is a very nice church. Possibly Saxon. Again, this is all guesswork, judging from the architecture. Having come out of the church, we're going back down towards the village through this gate here. So back at the triangle again, and this time we're going to walk along this road, leaving this cottage to our left. And that's private access to Northbury. We take this road, which has taken us back towards Hunton. And they look like old watercress beds. None in there now though. A few ducks scuttling away. And beautiful box cottage on our right as we walk by. And we've just passed Box Cottage, and there's a footpath to our right, which we are going to take over that stile. As we come up with this house on the right, look out for the gap in the hedge, easy to miss, because the footpath leads over that stile. So straight across the field, over the stile, up towards Hunton Manor, and straight up the gravel drive. Just past the glass house, we come over the stile as opposed to carry on the drive. There's Hunton Manor behind the hedge, and we follow the footpath. A little bit overgrown, but nothing to write home about. And before reaching these large houses, it is up the steps, follow another footpath on your right. So we disappear into the bushes, and there's two paths. One goes straight, the other one goes off to the left, and we follow this one to the left. We've come out and walked around the bushes, and the path continues to the right, or it goes back into the bushes, and we're on the path that goes back into the bushes. So it's a lovely cool bit of woodland at the moment. It's a perfect day for walking, but it is a little bit sticky. And just following on down. And as we come back out onto the lane, we turn right. Now when you reach the junction, you continue straight on across this other lane. There the footpath sign is. Hoping the stingers are cut back. Oh, death by 1,000 stings down here. Wear yourself some long trousers and some long sleeves, definitely. Trev's got them on his arm. Got about 6 on our legs each. One's on each arm.
Ah, sure, they're big in there. How's it go? There's a river burbling away down there, the River Diva. And this is much better now. Path's a lot clearer and less stinging nettle infested. I think we've got stung so many times that our legs and our arms are immune to it now. And here we are, one of those bizarre situations where you come out into somebody's drive. And onto the road. Now, straight on is Bogmore. If you go right, you end up in Egypt. Yeah, not that Egypt, the Egypt, Hampshire. But we are going, after Trev's had a cough, left. There's Egypt Cottage. And we carry on past Egypt Cottage on this footpath by the main road. Not a lot left of the old Didcot, Newbury and Southampton Railway. This is where the line crossed over. There was also a station at Sutton Scotney somewhere. Didcot, Newbury and Southampton Railway opened between 1882 and 1885. And it was planned to come from the busy Midlands to the south coast, but they didn't get the support from London and South Western Railways and Great Western Railways, so the line failed. It carried on bravely until 1964, but then it closed. Glory days, I suppose, were D-Day during World War II, when many munitions trains and things headed this way. We've headed off the roundabout, we're heading back into Sutton Scotney at south and back to the pub. Anyone wants it, there's a nice rabbit hutch there at £25. Be quick, it's June 2023, if you're watching this later it's probably gone. Back into Sutton Scotney itself. And there's Diva stores for all your household needs, including a cup of coffee.
So that was a lovely walk, that was 6.5 miles. There's a lot to this village. J.R. Frank, as I say, the benefactor of the village, lived up at the manor house, which was up there. His predecessor at the manor house was John Courage, the brewer. So, quite a few famous people. Anyway, lovely scenery, lovely picture box cottages, lovely riverside, perfect walk. But I'm going to go in now and grab some lunch. Come with me.
And me.